Knitting can be a way to connect with the seasons, to notice the changes in light, colors, mood, and rhythm around us and within us as well. Over time, I've noticed my knitting naturally shift along with the seasons, intentionally and unintentionally. And in today's video, I wanted to share some of the ways I explore that in my own making. Hi, I'm Pauliina, also known as Lina, and I'm a knitwear designer based in Helsinki, Finland. I design knitting patterns for your soul and create these knitting videos here on YouTube. Of course, there are no rules when it comes to seasonal knitting. Take what resonates with you, adapt these ideas in your own way, and let your intuition guide you. And if you have any of your own seasonal knitting habits or rituals, let me know in the comments below. Sometimes the shift is very practical. Warm and cozy knits for winter, light and airy ones for summer. That is what usually comes to mind when talking about seasonal knitting. And it's actually quite easy to do. When you're holding a skein of yarn, imagine yourself wearing an item knitted from that. Does it feel warm and cozy? Then it's winter. Light and cool? I think it's suitable for summer. Personally, I don't often knit with 100% plant fibers. That's just my personal kind of tactile preference, but I do use wool and linen and wool and cotton mixes in my kind of more summery knits. But honestly, I use animal fibers year-round. During the warmer months, I just go with thinner yarn weights that don't feel too heavy to me. I mean, maybe to wear, I wouldn't wear a jumper like this on a super hot summer day, but to knit with this is fingering weight yarn, so to knit with this, I think that would be fine for me. Other times the shift is more emotional and intuitive, and color is a great way to tie us to or remind us of specific emotions and situations. Some might associate pale blue with winter, to others it's summer skies. Some might feel the pull towards kind of golden yellowy colors during the autumn period, while for others it's the summer sky, the energy of the summer sun, and others can feel drawn towards them in the depths of winter to add some warmth and color, brightness to those dark days. Just pay attention to the slight or dramatic shifts in light and color around you and what colors you feel pulled towards during these shifts. I don't know if I can find my way out. And seasonal knitting isn't only about the materials. It can also show up in what we feel like knitting. Cables in winter, lace in the summer, etc. Cozy, chunky sweaters for the colder months and tops for the warmer months. These are the common associations that come to mind for many of us. But I don't think seasonal knitting has to follow fixed categories. For example, I love the cozy, comfy garter stitch and seed stitch year-round, and they feature both in my winter patterns and in those that I feel are more summery. I designed the knitted wheel of the year based on what the seasons and holidays brought to mind for me, and that meant I designed a lace shawl for October, the Samhain holiday. You can, of course, interpret them however feels right to you. To you, the Beltane shawl might look like autumn, for example, and that's perfectly fine. You don't have to follow what the designer feels is appropriate. I also like to think about the size of the item that I'm knitting. For the warmer months, I tend to favor smaller knits, one skein shawls, socks, hats, something that doesn't involve a huge pile of wool on my lap. And I also like the practicality of these small knits. They're easy to pack and take along with me when I go to the beach or the park for a picnic, for example. So they're very portable, and I like that aspect. In the winter, I tend to stay more at home and in my cozy corner on the couch. So I don't mind how much yarn I need for that project. It's not as important to me then.
How many yesterdays are between us now?
As the seasons turn, I always do a wardrobe refresh. I don't keep all my clothes visible and accessible all year round, but tend to pack away the heavier clothes, the warmest clothes for the summer months, and bring them back out when autumn arrives. And I do the same with my knitwear. So when spring arrives, I pack away my bulky, chunky, super cozy, warm shawls and bring out the lighter and brighter ones, and vice versa when the cold autumn winds arrive. This will of course look different based on where you live. You might be somewhere where the change in the seasons isn't quite as traumatic as here in Finland. But I think it does wonders for the mind to just do a little bit of something to mark the change in seasons. Maybe it's more to do with the color palette. You know what works for you. And you can do the same with your yarn stash. If you have yarn somewhere visible, whether all of it or just some of it, just switching them around a bit, rearrange and shift the order of those skeins to highlight the ones that you associate more with the season you're currently in.
We carried it all, cobbling miles as we go.
To me, seasonal knitting isn't about following a rule book. It's about noticing, listening to yourself and paying attention to your surroundings. Just being aware of the subtle shifts that are ever present will make your knitting more mindful and hopefully more joyful. I'd love to know what thoughts and ideas this has brought you, and if you already have some seasonal knitting habits, please share them in the comments below. I'd love to hear about them. You can also subscribe and click the like button. That really helps other knitters find this video as well. Thank you so much for spending time with me. I will see you soon again.